This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Titan signs John Fillipelli to a new deal to help up the quality of TV production to keep the WWF ahead of their competition. He had 23 total Emmy nominations, mainly working for NBC Sports. He worked on things like the Super Bowl and the World Series. And I think, and I don't know that you've told this, maybe you have, but I feel like you maybe didn't always get along with John Fillipelli.
No, I didn't. John didn't like me. I didn't like John. John fired me. And we had a completely different way of doing things. And, personally, we were polar opposites, and John didn't have, in my opinion, a lot of respect for our business. And coming in it was kind of like Jim Crockett in Mid-South when he bought Watts Territory and said nothing's going to change but the name on the check, and then everything changed. Flip came in and, hey, I just want to get to know everybody, and then just started bringing in his own people. So I'm sure he's a talented guy. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been in the business as long as he has and been as successful as he has in baseball. He loves baseball, and he's a sports guy with, like baseball and golf, but it's Jim Ross used to joke, yeah, it must be real fucking hard directing golf and doing golf. It's like, ready, one, take one. And there's the drive. Well, that was a good drive. Wonder what he's going to hit for a second shot. Putt looks to be about 6. I mean, how hard is it? Not knocking anybody or anything, but baseball, I'm not a fan of either. So again, we didn't have a lot of interest. He came in, and I remember, I had a ring that I wore, and he says, "Oh, you like rings?" And he came in with all of his, baseball, World Series rings and shit. Like on all his fingers. Oh, look at my rings. I'm like, okay, cool. Great.
Right.
I don't give a fuck. Brought all his Emmys in. And again, the guy was an accomplished, producer, and he was brought in as the executive producer to help in other avenues with the WBF, but also to take the product in other places. And Flip wanted to do it the network way and the way that he was brought up, which in the long run did not work out well for him, because he just wasn't. Any time that you would be introduced to someone, they would be introduced as a people person.
Yeah.
Pat and I used to look at each other and go, uh-oh, because that was usually the kiss of death. And Flip was introduced as a people person. So it just wasn't well liked by those in the studio for the most part. And
he wasn't, or you weren't?
Oh, both.
Okay.
Both. I don't think I was well liked, especially at that time in the studio at all.
Listen, you're more self-aware now, and you've embraced fully that you are a heel and you can be cantankerous and difficult to work with. Did you make it hard for him to be there? I mean, were you difficult to work with? Were you intentionally immature and petulant at times, or was
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And when you look back on it, yes, I was. At the time I was thinking, hey, you run it, man. You do your thing. I'll do my thing. And, I'm going to be over here doing my shit. You go do your shit. I'll help you however I can. But I was an asshole doing it. I didn't.
You were divisive.
I was.
Okay.
I didn't play well with others.
Right.
And I didn't do well when there was someone in between me and Vince. And it just that was difficult for me because I could.
Let me just ask, I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but I want to ask, because I think I speak Bruce sometimes. Did you feel like, and you've never told me this, but who the fuck is this guy? He's a non-wrestling guy and he's going to come tell me what to do. I've been doing this for fucking years, not just here, but other places. And I know how this place works like the back of my hand. And now he's going to tell me how wrestling's done. Get the fuck out of here.
Right. I think there was a big part of that. And especially because I was 28 years old and I knew everything.
And you were making a lot of money and sort of had life like you liked it and just assumed it's going to be like this forever. This fucking goof, blah, blah, blah. Right.
Exactly. And I didn't make it easy. And that is where I learned that
you got to make it work.
You got to make it work. You got to work with people, and you've got to give and take, and it can't be all give. It can't be all take either.
Right.
And it's got to be, you've got to work. It's no different than having a match and working with your opponent. Either you're a good worker or you're not a good worker. And at that time, I was a very selfish worker and looked at it only through my lens and only worrying about, in wrestling terms, getting myself over. I didn't give a fuck about anything else.
Right.
And thought that everybody saw it my way. So it was this new guy coming in with, and look, he doesn't get a pass either. Fuck him. He doesn't get a pass because he didn't work with me, but 100% I take full blame and on all of it, because I should have been smarter and I should have been the better worker to work with him and outwork him and just, work with him. And if he's going to fail, he's going to fail. If he's going to succeed, then we succeed together. But I didn't do that.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.